child in my heart cries love. Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you older, even children get older, and I'm getting older too. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built my life around you. But time makes you older, and children get older. I'm getting older too. Oh, I'm getting older too. Take my love. Cloudy mountain. We had like 10 minutes. And if you see my reflection, it's snow covered hills where the landslide bring me down. And if you see my reflection, snow covered hills in the wedding suite, landslide bring you down. Oh, the
That was a
landslide
very nice
bring
one.
you
Yeah,
down.
that was nice. She'd just come back from Arizona. And then graduation. You're in there. Yeah. I submitted that photo. Send it to her. Hey, that's
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no country. It isn't hard to do. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
Damn, who knew? All the planes we flew, good things we've been through. That I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
It's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you again.
First you both go out your way and the vibe is feeling strong. And what's small turn to a friendship turn to a bond. And that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn. And that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone. How can we not talk about family when family's all that we got? Everything I went through, you were standing there by my side. And now you gon' be with me for the last ride.
Let the light guide your way. Yeah. Hold every memory as you go. And every road you take will always lead you home. Oh, it's been a long day without you, my friend. And I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you
Oh, I love that one.
But we can do a. We can do
Let's see. Come on. That's a good one. That's a good one. Do you see pause? Oh no.
The storm is calling, but I don't mind. People
Nope.
are dying. I close
Now if you just go back to full screen.
my blind.
Where?
You.
Oh, I can't. We were just trying to like have it be on one, but we couldn't figure out pause. I'm sorry. But that's a good reason.
I'm sorry. So it's paused right now.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I am. But I just wish you were
I want to believe in breathing. All I can do is keep breathing. All we 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 can do is keep breathing. All we
Promise you the world again, everything within my hands. All the rich as one could dream, they will come from me. I hope that you could understand that this is not what I had planned. Please don't worry now, it will turn around. 'Cause I need more time, just a few more months and we'll be fine. So say what's on your mind, 'cause I can't figure out just what's inside. I hope that you could understand that this is not what I had planned. Please don't worry now, it will turn around. 'Cause I need more time, just a few more months and we'll be fine. So say what's on your mind, 'cause I can't figure out just what's inside. So say alright, 'cause I know we can make it if we try. 'Cause I need more time, just a few more months and we'll be fine. We're off to new land, so hold on to my hand. It's gonna be alright. So hold on brighter, stand by the fire. It's gonna be alright. Yeah, the road gets harder, but it's not much farther. It's gonna be alright. You know that it ain't easy, but please believe me, it's gonna be alright.
We're going to start with a poem by one of Judith's favorite poets, Andrea Gibson. It's called Angels of the Get-Through. This year is the hardest of your whole life. So hard you cannot see a future most days. The pain is bigger than anything else. It takes up the whole horizon, no matter where you are. You feel unsafe, you feel unsaved. Your past so present, you can feel your baby teeth. Sitting on the couch, you swear your feet don't reach the floor. You keep remembering the first time you saw a bird's nest held together by an old shoelace and scraps of a plastic bag. You knew the home of a person could be built like that. A lot of things you'd rather throw away. You keep worrying you're taking up too much space. I wish you'd let yourself be the Milky Way. Remember when I told you I was going to become a full-time poet and you paid my rent for 3 years? Best friend, angel of the get-through. All living is storm chasing. Every good heart has lost its roof. Let all the walls collapse at your feet, scream timber when they ask how you are. Fine is the suckiest word. It is the opposite of here. Here is the only place left on the map. Here is where you learn laughter can go extinct and come back. I am already building a museum for every treasure you unearth in the rock bottom. Holy vulnerable cliff, God Mason, heart heavier than all the bricks, say this is what the pain made of you. An open, open, open road. An avalanche of feel it all. Don't ever let anyone tell you you are too much or it has been too long. Whatever keeps a stutterer from stuttering when he sings a song, you are made of that thing. That unbreakable note, that photograph of you at 5 years old, the year you ran away from school because you wanted to go home. You are almost there. You are the same compass you have always been. You are the same friend who never left my side during my worst year. You caught every tantrum I threw with your bare hands and chucked it back at that blood moon, said, "It's okay. Everyone's survival looks a little bit like death sometimes." I wrote a poem called Say Yes while I was cursing your name for not letting me go. Best friend, this is what we do. We gather each other up, we say, the cup is half yours and half mine. We say alone is the last place you will ever be. Angels of the get-through. We are, too.
Friends, family, beloveds, welcome. It's strange to open with a welcome, but on this day of both devastation and celebration, of grieving and remembering, it feels right to begin with a word that signals thank you for bringing yourself here. Or perhaps the Hebrew words bruchim habayim may be more fitting. Blessed are those who come. Blessed are we, the heartbroken and the lost, who gather today for the impossible task of memorializing and celebrating the life of our Judith Giller Limewall, a daughter, a friend, a classmate, a chaplain, a Harry Potter reader, a camp counselor, a niece, a cousin, a proud Jew, a committed humanist, an impossibly bright and gentle soul who loved hard and in her love transformed every person whose path she crossed. A loving and beloved person who left this world far too quickly. We gather today at Harvard Divinity School where Judith was pursuing her Master of Divinity, a place that was deeply important to her and a place that folks here have reminded me where Judith was deeply beloved and will be unbelievably missed. Loved ones, we are heartbroken, and we gather today in our brokenness both to witness one another in the depths of our sadness and to celebrate the beauty, the warmth, the grace, the graciousness of the life of our beloved Judith. My name is Emily Rogel. I'm a rabbinical student at Hebrew College, but Judith and I first met in the treacherous, perilous depths of our biblical Hebrew class at Harvard Divinity School. When we got out, I was immediately drawn to Judith's warmth, her confidence in my and our ability to grasp the content of the class, even as I was certain only a miracle would get us to the other side of the semester. For the duration of our time in divinity school together and beyond, I watched Judith unfailingly and unwaveringly brighten the days of all of our classmates, friends, students, and faculty. The late Buddhist writer and ecologist Joanna Macy wrote about having a wild love for the world. As I sat to collect my thoughts for this service, this phrase returned to me over and over again. Judith didn't just have a love for this world and the people in it, she embodied it. In the face of the grief of losing her mother, of battling her chronic health issues, of standing bravely in the face of so much sadness and anxiety, Judith continued to sustain and act upon her love for this broken, weary world. Judith's love for the world is and forever will be a teacher to me. In her continued care for her friends in the face of her own struggles, in the compassion she had for her campers when she worked at Camp Swift, a camp for economically disadvantaged youth in Arizona, in her dedication to living a life that uplifted the sick, the weary, the broken, the forgotten, the downtrodden. The love that Judith had for all of us, for this world, overflowed. Judith's existence on this planet has taught me and countless others the truly infinite capacity that we as finite beings have to care for one another. Today, amidst the depths of our grief and sadness, we gather to learn from and with one another how we will continue to live out Judith's vision for this world together. During our time together in divinity school, Judith sent me her application for clinical pastoral education, a program that trains spiritual care providers to show up responsibly with authenticity and compassion for those who are suffering. I want to share with you the closing line of Judith's application. Quote, I view myself as a compilation of all the people and moments that have brought me to the present. Although this does not mean that every moment is a gift, I do believe that painful moments can lead to the opportunity for growth, and I can think of no better way to use this growth than by helping others through their own vulnerable moments. Together we gather to do this today, to be with each other in our heartbreak, to laugh and cry and remember the brilliant, blazing light of our beloved Judith. We will hear from several of Judith's friends and family members today, listen to music, and engage in spiritual practices that meant a lot to her. Please know that this space, this community can hold you today, that grief undoes us, but love has the capacity to stitch us back up again. Let us proceed in love. I'd now like to invite up Naomi Hornstein, Judith's college roommate and friend, and Sneha Walia, a Judith's friend from Brandeis and former roommate.
Hi, everyone. I'm Naomi. And I first met Judith on high school semester in Israel in 2009. We did our semester together, but we were on different bus groups, so we didn't spend much time together that semester. What I do remember is her playing the piano for everyone with a smile on her face all the time. And if we fast forward a few years, we both enrolled at Brandeis, and we both also took a gap year, not even realizing the other was doing the same thing. The summer before Brandeis, I was working at camp, and I got an email with the name of my roommate for freshman year. And it read, Dear Layubov. That's not my name. My name's Naomi. Dear Layubov, greetings from the Department of Community Living. We hope you're having a great summer and you are beginning to think about your new home away from home. The entire Brandeis community eagerly awaits your arrival to campus in late August. We know for many of you, living away from home will be a new experience. Successful rooming requires patience, tolerance, and an open mind. At Brandeis, we believe that learning comes from sharing experiences with those different from you. Before your arrival, we suggest that you contact your new roommate and begin to plan for the upcoming year. We're pleased to inform you of your 2011 to 2012 housing assignment and roommate information. Your housing assignment, 105 DeRoy Hall, Missel Quad, double occupancy. Roommate information, Karishma Giller Linewall. jgiller@brandeis.edu. So I knew there was something going wrong, and I didn't think anyone else had the name Giller Linewall. So I kind of put two and two together and was like, this must be Judith, because we had known each other in high school. But shortly after, I got an email from Judith that said this: "Hi, I just received an email from Brandeis letting me know you're my roommate!" 2 exclamation marks. This is so crazy. I know we'll be meeting each other in less than 2 months, but I thought I'd just shoot over an email saying hi and introducing myself a little bit. Let's see. My name is Judith Giller Linewall, originally from Vieta, Virginia, but I currently live in Scottsdale, Arizona. I graduated high school in 2010 and took a gap year in which I lived in Israel and worked as an EMT. I'm really big into music. I play piano and just love to listen to music in general. I also like playing sports, especially softball and basketball. I feel kind of silly sending an email to introduce myself, but I figured this was a good start. Hope you're having a great summer. What kind of things are you interested in? Can't wait to meet you! 3 exclamation marks. I responded something along the lines of, "Hey Judith, this is Naomi. I think something got messed up, but I don't know if you remember me from our semester in Israel." And she wrote, "Oh my gosh, of course I remember you. I saw your email address and thought it might be you, but I had no idea you were going to Brandeis, and your name was not Layubov on EIE, so I was a little confused." And I had told her that I'd email housing to see what was going on. She said, "I also emailed housing to make sure everything was sent correctly and that we're actually roommates." Seriously though, how crazy is this? I'll let you know when I get an email back. Can't wait to catch up. We printed out that whole email exchange and posted it on the door of our freshman year dorm. And that was really the start of it all. Judith and I really did our first 2 years of college together as one of each other's closest people. We laughed, we made up a lot of silly songs. We pulled each other's, and by we, I mean mostly Judith, pulled my hair back when I got a little bit too drunk. We cried tears of laughter and sadness. We shared stories with each other about our lives back home and our dogs, both named Charlie. We talked about our crushes. We went out to dinner when our families would come visit. We dressed up for Halloween together, stayed late in the library studying, and we especially cleaned up after the very dirty boys that we lived with. We also took trips to the hospital as her shoulder would dislocate. We would share nights up together, and we would celebrate when it would go back in and she was no longer in pain. We grew up a lot together in those first 2 years, both learning how to hold these hard moments and hospital visits for the first time without parents around. I was so grateful for her in those moments, and who would have known how close Layubov and Karishma would have gotten. Through all of that, Judith would never stop letting me know how grateful she was for the gifts and people in her life. And would never stop letting me know how much she cared about me and my problems, even though I felt like they were so small compared to the pain she was in. She used her experiences in the hospital to fuel her desire to support others going through similar experiences. First, as a dream of becoming a nurse. The nurses that supported Judith would really make or break the experience, and she wanted to be a caring and loving nurse because she knew how important it was. When she realized her body would not support that profession, she went into chaplaincy for the same reasons. Judith was a kind, caring, hilarious, and compassionate friend. As I've been remembering her, a few specific examples come to mind to illustrate these. The first example is silly songs. Me and Judith would go play, there was like rooms at Brandeis where you could play the piano, and I didn't know how to play the piano, but I liked to sing along to Beatles songs, so she would play and I would sing to the songs. She also made up a great song with the words, so we lived in DeRoy Hall, named after someone named Helen DeRoy, and she wrote a song that went like this: "Oh, Helen DeRoy, thank God you are rich. Thank you for your generous donation. Our hall is the best hall in the nation." And also, being the nerds that we were fully obsessed with the a cappella scene at Brandeis, even though we had no singing skills ever. We like knew all of the like a cappella groups and we'd go to every show. So that's silly songs. Another example that I thought of was about our dogs, Charlie. Judith's dog, Charlie, had died before we met each other, and she would finally tell stories while listening to me talk about my dog, Charlie. When we found out that my Charlie had cancer, I was very distraught. And the first thing my mom said to me was, "Call Judith, she'll know what to say." And it's true. She was always there to support and comfort. She used her experiences of grief and loss, whether with her mom or with her dog, to support others going through grief. That was so clear that my mom also knew to call on her. And finally, whenever I would visit Boston after moving away, we would get lunch and catch up on our lives. And it was such a treat. The feeling of catching up with her felt like coming home, a familiar and connected time just for us. I miss Judith, and I've learned countless lessons from her. She taught me how to connect to people in genuine ways. She taught me how to use grief to support others. And most of all, she was really there for her people. She so fiercely loved us. I'm so grateful to have the lessons she taught me, and I know her memory will always, always be a blessing.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sneha. Judith and I also met in college at Brandeis and got close for the first time our junior year when we shared a suite with Nicole, who you already heard from, Lindsay and Lara, who are here, Sarah, and honorary member Felix. There's something magical, as you heard from Naomi, about the people you meet at Brandeis. They told us freshman year that we would make our lifelong friends there, and we absolutely did. Judith and I lived together for our last 2 years of college and our first year out of college and stayed in the Boston area through now. I had a really hard time writing this because it's hard to have it sink in that she is not with us right now. I saw Judith at some of the most joyous events of my life shortly before she passed. Judith officiated my and Brad's wedding in early August and then attended a small Indian wedding we held after that also. And it was amazing to see her so fully in her roles as both friend and chaplain. She walked us through relationship surveys and wedding practice all year long, and she was just in her element, acting as a spiritual guide and using her teachings to bring out the best in others. I keep thinking Judith would have made an amazing hospital chaplain. She took all the stressors she experienced in her life and channeled them into passion towards a difficult path that could provide so much help to others. I can only hope and keep thinking that perhaps the knowledge of her knowledge of end-of-life care helped in her own passing, and that she felt safe and empowered and at peace, just like she was training to coach others. Like most people here, I've been thinking about the irony that the number one person who I'd want to talk to about losing a close friend is Judith. She would have been the hand to hold, and she would have been the person that I want to call. She's always good at just letting people feel difficult feelings, not necessarily fix them, but just be there. And it's fitting, at least, that in her one of her final acts in this moment, she brought together so many people who love her all together. After her passing, a bunch of us friends gathered to clean out her apartment and meet and just be together. And some of us hadn't seen each other in years. And now we'll never let that much time pass separated again. We'll never take for granted the time we have together. And we'll keep Judith's memory alive through the love that we have for her and for one another. The night I heard of her passing, I started creating a notes app of things about Judith, a notes app like list, things about Judith that I wanted to remember forever. And so I just wanted to end by sharing some of those highlights. Judith always shared food. That was like a love language. She would gladly give people food right off her plate and be like, here, yeah, please taste this. And it was just such a wholesome feeling to share a meal with her. Judith was really real on social media. Even when she was going through hard things, she shared them because she wanted to be truthful and share her truth. And I keep thinking about her because there's this new app called Be Real, where you share a moment of your day, like in the actual moment. And I just keep thinking, like, Judith started that trend. And then Gen Z like took it and made it this trendy thing, but they owe her. She started that. She always said she didn't like public dancing, like dancing in public, but would somehow always do it. And she knew all the TikTok dances and just like, again, starting trends for Gen Z, public dancing. She always created cozy spaces. Don't get me wrong, she's incredibly messy, but always welcomed people into her space, made sure they were comfortable, and put a ton of effort in making sure her apartment or her room were fully hers. And now I have some of her items from her room and apartment in my classroom. I'm a high school teacher, and whenever students compliment them, it feels like she's there. She would specifically say, "I'm not mad at you." which is so soothing sometimes to like an anxious, stressed out mind, and was just like the perfect thing you need to hear sometimes if things are stressful. And most importantly, she ended every conversation with, "I love you," because she really did. And I have no doubt that those were the last words we shared, and she shared with all of us, because she loved her friends, she loved her family, and her love is here today. And I want to tell Judith that I love her again. We all do. But she knows we love her back and that we always will. And she brought us together today to love each other and be there for each other. And that love is her greatest legacy. Thanks.
I'd now like to invite up Ben Freeman, Judith's friend from Divinity School and fellow cohort mate in clinical pastoral education at Hebrew Senior Life.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay. So Nicole had reached out to me and asked if I would like to prepare something musical for this day. And I decided to write something for Judith. It's not a silly song. And I actually thought in the writing, I was like, damn, I wish this was a little more silly, because that was and is such an important part of how I remember Judith. But I wrote it in the best way that I could and trusted that she would appreciate that I was trying to find something from myself for her. So this is a song that I'm calling Judith's Song. And I need to turn on the keyboard. It can be helpful to plug in the keyboard if it wants to turn on. Thanks, Chris. I think I got it. Let's see. Maybe. Here we go. Many of my own memories, and it sounds like for many of you, of Judith revolve around music. So, yeah. There's a war in my heart tonight. I cannot wrap myself around what's on my mind. Lost without an address. I thought we had more time. It's getting bad if it's out of hand. If you need a friend, I know someone who would take you in whatever state you're in. Oh, dear Judith, oh, my friend Judith. I'm trying to live with what she left in the dark. They say each teacher has one gift to impart. Hers was finding wholeness in a broken heart. Oh, dear Judith. Oh, my friend Judith. There's a wonder that you passed on to me, and I don't know what I believe, but oh, my friend, I wish you peace. Oh, I wish you peace. Oh, dear Judith. Oh, my friend Judith.
I now like to invite up Lindsay Fitzpatrick, Judith's friend from Brandeis, Heather, followed by Heather Coe, one of Judith's best friends and a co-worker from Boston Children's Hospital, Judith's first job after college, followed by Rachel Fish and Dave Cutler, Judith's cousins.
Hey everyone, I'm having a hard time keeping it together. I'm sorry. So my name is Lindsay. I met Judith on my first day of Brandeis, just like Naomi did. I lived on that same hall, DeRoy Hall, which was, as Naomi said in Judith's song, like the best way that one could get acquainted to a new environment. So my friendship with Judith began on that first day of Brandeis. We lived on the same hall freshman year, and we became friends instantly. It was absolutely impossible not to be friends with Judith. Over the years, we became more like family. We became roommates, classmates, and really for life co-chairs. I have countless memories of Judith that always bring a smile to my face: music sing-alongs in our sweet common room, senior nights at the bar, dance sessions, and everything in between. In the years after graduation, we were fortunate enough to both live in Boston along with many of our friends. I would have sleepovers at her apartment, and she would come to mine for brunches and dinners. She even stood in the rain for hours with Nicole to cheer me on in my first half marathon. These last few years, my partner Felix and I have been living in Chicago, but it didn't change our friendship with Jude one bit. We shared grad school experiences, talked about life updates, politics, and shared things that were bringing us joy. We constantly checked in with each other and supported each other from afar. When I told her I had cancer, she sent Felix a Venmo to buy dinner for us to help take a load off, because that's the kind of person that Judith was. No matter what was going on with her, she was always there to give love and support to the people that she loved. I had not seen Jude in person because of the pandemic until at Lyra's wedding, one of our other fellow roommates, just 2 weeks before she passed. Finally, being able to hug and talk in person after so much had happened for both of us was truly amazing. One of the last things she said to me was, "Can I give you a browless hug?" Which, of course, I said yes to. I would never turn down a hug from Jude. I didn't know that was the last time that I would see her, but I'm forever grateful that we had that time together to catch up. The last words that we exchanged were so positive. She had commented on something I shared on Instagram about love, and she said that the love between Felix and I had always been obvious to her. She was around since day one of our relationship, so these words are something I'll carry with me forever. The last thing I sent to her was a video of me and my dog Tofu, where we were trying to cheer her up because she hadn't been feeling well. She said he seemed like a goof, which is completely accurate. And it really breaks my heart that she'll never get to meet him, but I'm really comforted that the video I sent her of him brought her joy in her last days. What is grief if not love persevering? I've been thinking about this quote a lot recently and using it to help me understand the immense pain that Jude's passing has left. Jude, I love you so much, and I always will. Felix and I never got the chance to ask you to officiate our wedding, and now we never will. Sorry. But we know you will be there with us, like you have been for our entire relationship. Jude, just thank you so much for being such a great friend, and for truly being like family to me and Felix the last 11 years. We love you with all of our hearts. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. I first want to thank Harvard and for the people who organized this. It's a beautiful day. Obviously, she would be here, but it feels like she is. Judith and I met working at Children's Hospital, but got to know each other much better in the years that followed. Judith loved Taco Bell and Harry Potter. My dog's names are Taco Bella and Sirius Black. So it seemed inevitable, but shared, that we'd become dear friends. We've celebrated holidays, exchanged playlists and advice, shared meals at each other's homes and sometimes in hospital rooms. We've borne witness to one another's joys, sorrows, and incredibly embarrassing moments. Judith's family became my family, and mine became hers. We took good care of each other. Like a lot of you, Judith married my partner, Dom, and me, this time in a 3 days notice small backyard ceremony at the start of COVID, and it was perfect. Jude wrote one of the affidavits for our son Maddie's adoption and gifted him one of her ukuleles to celebrate it. Jude and I struggled through grad school side by side, cheering each other on through exhaustion, imposter syndromes, and the sometimes raw sting of navigating an educational system not entirely designed for learners like us or lives like ours. We were determined to graduate together this May, and when I get my letters, they will be for Judith as much as for me. But now I want to tell you about the most important part of our relationship, because in addition to Maddie, Jude was a loving auntie to our animals, especially to our affectionate, smelly 13-year-old beagle mix, Judith's beloved Taco Bella. And so a few times a year, when Jude didn't feel well enough to come over or go for a walk or a drive, I'd sneak our 50-pound senior dog into Jude and Nicole's Washington Street apartment because full-body dog cuddles were a comfort, a balm, and because the two of them delighted in each other's company. And Taco, true to her name, would drape herself over Judith, snoring, shedding all over the couch, I'm so sorry, and occasionally nudging her for more belly rubs and ear scratches. And Judith would happily oblige. That's who Jude was, loving love and drawing out the best of it in others. Jude, I love and miss you. I know you're at peace. The dogs and I will save your spot on our couch always.
Hi, my name is Dave Cutler, and along with my wife, Rachel Fish, and our kids, we're Judith's cousins. We unfortunately had 2 passings in the family in quick succession recently, and after the subsequent interactions with family, I found myself saying to Rachel that I'm 45 years old and I feel like I still don't know the right things to say to people during those moments. Judith, on the other hand, was not afflicted with this challenge. She was exceptionally gifted in that respect, and her capacity for compassion and empathy, despite everything she was going through, was unparalleled. We were lucky enough to have a lot of time in person with Judith. We live in Waltham, and during her years at Brandeis and later years in Boston, we were close enough that we got to have a lot of time with her in person. But some of the most poignant comments that she had for us were online, and in particular in response to the passing of 2 of our beloved dogs, something Judith was especially equipped to relate to and comment on. And as we were looking to share remembrances with Malcolm and Lynn, we went online in search of some of these comments. Of course, in looking for these empathic, poignant, compassionate comments, the first comment I stumbled upon was in response to a photo of me in pink bunny ear headphones at work, to which Judith responded, "I'm so proud to be related to you," in very mocking fashion. I did remind her that she was related by marriage and had an out. We then did find the actual comments. I won't read them here, but the fact that in a sea of Facebook comments, the comments that she had made years ago in responses to our dog's passing stood out amongst everything else is a testament to Judith's ability to know the right thing to say in those moments. That really touched our hearts. And unlike Judith's mocking, "I'm so proud to be related to you" comment, I am genuinely very proud to be related to Judith.
So we had the privilege of having Judith come to our home regularly, and she in many ways got to see these kiddos grow up, whether it was playing in our backyard with them, holding them when they were babies, convincing some roommates to babysit them at times, letting us bring them to cheer her up when she didn't feel well in her apartment, and coming for Shabbat dinners, as well as many trips to the hospital or spending the night in one of our rooms where I would often cozy up to her. I wasn't as good as a dog, but I would cozy up to her and rub her back and be able, I think, to provide some comfort. And when I think about Judith, I really have 2 specific memories that I wanted to share with you. One is that at all of the Shabbat dinners we had together, which were quite often, I don't know all of you, but I know you by name. She spoke about all of you. She spoke about her experiences with you, whether it had to do with Harry Potter and the Sacred Text Club. She spent time with the memories and experiences that you had, bringing them to our dinner table so that we could learn about her life. And it just feels very powerful to have all of you in this room together, knowing that we haven't yet met, and I feel as if I know many of you. The second memory I have is that our kiddos were a big part of Judith's life, I'd like to think, and she was willing to do anything for these kids. She would play music with Ashi. She would connect with each of them in their own ways, whether it was sports, whether it was camp. She was very excited when our oldest went to camp for the first time. And during COVID, when she couldn't come over at first, when we all were in this period of lockdown, Judith would FaceTime the kids to read books over FaceTime to them. And that is a memory that, even if they're too little to remember sometimes, that we'll hold close because, again, it's that connection. And so I wanted to say that for me, the Hebrew word that I think of when I think of Judith is hineni, here I am. Because Judith really was present in all of its manifestations when she spent time with our family. I wanted to share just 2 quick excerpts from a poem written by Rumi. Then said a rich man, "Speak to us of giving." And he answered, "You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. And there are those who have little and give it all. These are the believers in life and the bounty of life, and their coffer is never empty. There are those who give with joy, and that joy is their reward. They give as in yonder valley, and myrtle breathes its fragrance into space. Through the hands of such as these, God speaks, and from behind their eyes, he smiles upon the earth. You want to stand over here? I'll hold it for you. Okay, you can stand right here. Yeah, you can take it off.
Hi, I'm Ami, and I just wanted to read a poem that I thought Judith would like. Hug a War by Shel Silverstein from Where the Sidewalk Ends. I will not play at tug of war. I'd rather play at hug a war, where everyone hugs instead of tugs, where everyone giggles and rolls on the rug, where everyone kisses and everyone grins and everyone cuddles and everyone wins. I wanted to read this poem because Judith loved to hug and I miss her.
Sit down, buddy. So our son Ashi is going to play from one of Judith's ukuleles. She also shared the passion of music with Ashi. How old are you, Ashi? 12. He's 12. Yes, math was not my strong suit. And Ashi decided that he would like to play ukulele. He has never played ukulele until recently. So Ashi's going to play a song called One Day by Matisyahu.
I now like to invite up Margaret and Michelle, two of Judith's friends from Brandeis.
I'm an early childhood teacher, so if anyone wants to take a moment to stretch and stand for a second, feel free. Maybe we all do it, so everyone, no one feels awkward. Hi, I'm Margaret Hoffman. I was Judith's roommate and friend from college. When I sat down to write this, nothing sounded good enough or right. And after a while, I realized that nothing feels right, so it might as well be wrong. So I went with wrong. So let's start with words. Words like passionate, hilarious, wise, sensitive, empath, romantic, community builder, animal lover, gay, fierce, anxious, magical, messy, really messy, activist, sporty, introvert, friend, not a friend, family. Damn, I'm not ready for this, but I have to be ready for this, so I asked myself, WWJD, what would Judith do? Here's what Judith would do. She would scroll through YouTube. She would listen to Harry Potter. She would swear a lot. She would plan her next tattoo. She would play piano or ukulele. She would watch soldiers reunite with their dogs. She would order chicken wings. She would drive to the ocean. She would tell me she loves me, and she would just be there. Jude would be there. So here's what I can do. I can tell stories, like the time we almost crashed our U-Haul on Starro Drive. You're not supposed to have U-Hauls on Starro Drive. Like the time she held my hand when I got my first tattoo. Like the times we sat together in hospital rooms. Like the time we had a Disney Channel original movie marathon. Like the time she sneezed in the library and her shoulder came out. Like the time Mac asked me out and she and I danced through the apartment. Like the times we cried over heartbreaks. Like the time we sang karaoke with an Easter bunny. And like the last time I saw her, the last time I saw her, I asked her to officiate my wedding. I wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to write a really long card and send flowers and say all sorts of lovely things, and I was supposed to wait. Thank goodness I didn't, because I got to see Jude do what she was born to do. She was born to honor and bear witness to the sacred in our lives. For Jude, camp was sacred. Harry Potter was sacred. Andrea Gibson is sacred. The Phoenix Mercury are sacred. Dogs are sacred. Hummingbirds are sacred. Identity is sacred. You are all sacred. And love is sacred. I cannot help but mourn what could have been with more time. Instead, I hope to be grateful for what we had. We had Jude, and she was fucking amazing. I love you, Judith.
Hi, everybody. In the time since Judith's passing in late August, it has been difficult to find the words. Words to say to Judith's loved ones to comfort them, words to soothe myself when I'm hurting, or words to describe how much Judith meant and still means to everyone in her life. In the absence of words, I've found that the feelings that I've been searching to communicate have appeared in nature and in the mundane. I think of Judith every time I see a sunset over the lake near my house, I think of her when I go for a drive by myself. I think of her when I catch a glimpse of a women's basketball game on TV. A group of us in this room felt an unexpected joy during a recent trip to Brandeis when a hummingbird flew by. I'm sure that many people here have also experienced moments, big or small, that have reminded them of Judith's spirit. Because my gosh, did she have spirit. She is everywhere precisely because she shared her joys, challenges, and the wide spectrum of other life experiences in between with us all. A friend of mine recently shared with me a few words that I've found poignant. Grief is love with nowhere to go. I believe Judith found a place for the losses she experienced in her life to go. She poured her love into her family, her friendships, and into promoting social justice and humanism. In particular, Judith found a place to channel her experiences, both positive and negative, on her health journey through chaplaincy. Her empathy and commitment to patient-centered care are qualities that our healthcare system desperately needs more of. I personally learned so much from my discussions with Judith about our shared passion for improving public health and patient experience, which I carry with me in my professional life. Everyone deserves the kind of unconditional support and understanding Judith offered other people. She also personally has supported me as my mother has kidney disease, and even in the last few months when she was having a very challenging time, she got evaluated to donate a kidney to my mother. And she's just such a wonderfully selfless person. Excuse me. In her most recent text to me, she sent me a song that she knew I would like. The song is called Life on Hold by Nora En Pure. Judith did not let her challenges put her life on hold. She was always striving, always seeking in whatever way she could to create meaning in her life and in the lives of others. She remembered and cared about the things people in her life cared about, which is just one of the many, many reasons she was so special. She listened to our joys and struggles, and she shared her own. The song is added now to what I know will be a very long list of things that will keep her in my thoughts. Whether I will cry or smile may depend on the day, but nonetheless, I feel so privileged to have called her a friend and to have witnessed the positive impact she had on other people. Thank you.
I'd like to invite up Harriet, Raminta, and Mariam from Harry Potter and the Sacred Text to lead us through a practice.
Hi, my name is Maria Mirza, and I am from Judith's Harry Potter group.
Hello, my name is Harriet. I'm also a friend from Harry Potter and the Sacred Text, and now a student here at HDS.
And I'm Raminta Holden, also a member of Harry Potter and the Sacred Text.
So, if you knew Judith at all, she probably talked to you about her beloved Harry Potter group. And so that group, we're in our 8th year now, and Judith and I have been part of that group since its inception, first as attendees and then as facilitators, and Harriet and Raminta here are also facilitators. And you know, a lot of people wonder, what are a bunch of grown-ass women doing in a Harry Potter group? Like that's like all they talk about. It's like just everything else is secondary, and Harry Potter group, what is this Harry Potter group? And it's one of those things that that Judith really poured her heart into. And it's just, you know, I myself consider that group one of the gifts that life has given me, and it makes no sense to anybody else. So just, you know, just she was one of the initial sort of leaders of the group, and she helped shape it. And the space we hold for each other is so special to all of us and so unique, because it's a group where we can talk about Harry Potter and we can cry complete safety in front of 20 people on a regular basis if that's what we need to do, or we can do silly things. And one of the memories of Judith I have right now is eating all her cheese in her living room. So the full spectrum of life through the lens of Harry Potter, and Judith did a huge amount to shape that. And today, because nobody really understands what that group is, we are going to lead you through a practice that Judith created, so you can experience some of the hopefully the magic or the craziness of the Harry Potter group.
So Raminta will be reading a passage. We invite you, if you want to close your eyes and immerse yourself in the text, or to look outside at the beautiful day. We'll take just a moment of quiet at the end to think about what came up for you, and then I'll lead a short reflection.
The only other person apart from Ron and Hermione that Harry felt able to talk to was Hagrid. As there was no longer a defense against the dark arts teacher, they had those lessons free. They used the one on Thursday afternoon to go down and visit Hagrid in his cabin. It was a bright and sunny day. Fang bounded out of the open door as they approached, barking and wagging his tail madly. "Who's that?" called Hagrid, coming to the door. "Harry!" He strode out to meet them and pulled Harry into a one-armed hug, ruffled his hair, and said, "Good to see you, mate. Good to see you." When he had made tea and offered around a plate of doughy cookies, he leaned back in his chair and surveyed Harry closely through his beetle black eyes. "You all right?" he said gruffly. "Yeah," said Harry. "No, you're not," said Hagrid. "Course you're not. But you will be." Harry said nothing. "Knew he was going to come back," said Hagrid, and Harry, Ron, and Hermione looked up at him, shocked. "Known it for years, Harry. Knew he was out there biding his time. It had to happen. Well, now it has, and we'll just have to get on with it. We'll fight." Hagrid raised his bushy eyebrows at the disbelieving expressions on their faces. "No good sitting worrying about it," he said. "What's coming will come, and we'll meet it when it does. Dumbledore told me what you did, Harry." Hagrid's chest swelled as he looked at Harry. "You did as much as your father would have done, and I can give you no higher praise than that." Harry smiled back at him. It was the first time he'd smiled in days.
So at this time in the story, Harry is feeling overwhelmed. He's just experienced the loss of a classmate, Cedric, if you're not fully familiar with the text, and experienced the return of Lord Voldemort. And he's feeling overwhelmed and isolated and filled with grief and shame. And Hagrid is able to be with him in a way that feels right. He tells Harry it's okay not to be okay. He offers tea and cookies, and he affirms Harry's strengths. And so Judith was good at kind of going towards the messy, heavy parts of these books that some of us as facilitators tend to stay away from. And she invited us to think of a time in our life when we felt overwhelmed, but someone showed up for us in a way that we didn't even know we needed. So I invite you to take a moment and think of a time like that. We always say stretch, don't strain. So this does not have to be the most difficult moment, but somewhere it feels safe to revisit right now. When someone came in and showed up in a way you didn't know you needed. What did they offer you at that time? And what did it feel like to have them there? Judith's invitation to our group was to write a letter to this person, whether or not they are still living, whether or not you are in touch, to express your gratitude or whatever it is you would want to share with them. We're not going to take time for a writing assignment right now, but we do invite you to take a moment to turn to one or two of your neighbors and share anything that feels comfortable about who you are thinking of and what you would want to say to them. Take another moment and we'll come back together. So I know that for many of us, Judith definitely was that person in different moments in our life. And I know that so many people in this room stepped in to be in that place with her as well. And we are just so grateful for her leadership and her friendship and for the blessing that is her memory with us. And as we know, Judith also liked silliness, and we're going to invite you into our somewhat silly closing practice in our group, which is just that we always end our time together with the words, mischief managed. So I will count to 3, and then those are our magic words. So, mischief managed.
I'd now like to invite up Nicole Cardona to bring us towards closing.
Hello, I'm back. So, I'm, yet another one of Judith's roommates. I know there have been a lot of us up here today. But when I first met Judith, it was as her roommate, our junior year of college. And I was fascinated by her. Here was this person who was hilarious and kind of vulgar and with a personality that filled the whole room, but who was also incredibly soft and sensitive and vulnerable and open about her experiences and the things that she struggled with. She was the kind of person you wanted to be close to. She drew you in that way. In our first year living together, I remember like choosing to stay at school over one of our breaks, at least one of our breaks, because she stayed at school sometimes. She lived far away, and I remember like I chose to stay because I wanted the chance to bond with her. And now I'm here a decade later, and we were just shy of our 10th year living together. But a lot of us here today have had that kind of unique experience of being Judith's roommate or just living with Judith in general. And building a home with Judith meant a few different things. So it meant a lot of intensity. It meant a lot of feelings, but also a lot of music and a ton of love. A ton of love. There were a couple of years where she would read us bedtime stories at night sometimes, usually a chapter of Harry Potter. At holidays, she really loved getting us like surprise gifts, but she was terrible at actually keeping it a surprise. So there was more than once that I would like pretend that I didn't know, just to like be able to, so that she could still feel like, haha, I got you. She also couldn't stand when people would like start a sentence and then say never mind. You could not do that to her. You had to finish your thought. And she was constantly like walking into the room, with her phone held out, saying like, my friend from camp just got married, look. Or like, my favorite YouTube couple just adopted a dog, look. Or my elementary school basketball teammate's sister just had a baby, look how cute. And it didn't matter that we didn't know these people. And honestly, it didn't matter if Judith barely knew them anymore. Because once she formed a connection with you, she was going to be cheering you on from afar. No matter what. No matter how long it had been since you last talked. She was always going to be cheering you on. And she was really unashamed about sharing the things and the people that she loved with those around her. So my friendship with Judith has been one of the most complex and significant friendships of my life. And with her, I've learned some really important things, like that boundaries are a good thing, actually, and not something to fear, which became really important to keep a sustainable friendship with a lot of her health difficulties. We also learned that relationships can change over time and that is okay. And now I think Judith is teaching me how to allow myself to grieve. But the last thing that I want to learn from Judith is how to allow myself to have hope. Because Judith was so determined to do the things that were important to her, whether it was going to camp, finishing divinity school, officiating the important life events for her friends. And she very rarely made plan Bs for, what if my body can't do it? She really didn't do that. When it came to her goals and her values, she never let herself be the thing that got in her own way. Like, she never let self-doubt or the fear of disappointment stop her from even trying in the first place. And she had to believe that she could do the things that made her life meaningful, because that was the way that she knew how to keep going. And that is a way that I want to learn to be more like her. So I want to close now with the poem Epitaph by Merritt Malloy. And it was really important to me to do this one because a few years ago, we had one of our college friends pass away, and Judith had officiated his celebration of life, and she read this poem. And when I hear it, like when I read this poem, I can still hear it in her voice. So when I read it, I invite you to see if you can try to hear it in her voice too. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother, walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live on in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away.
There's a story in the Talmud, the Jewish compendium of law and narrative, about Rabbi Elazar and his teacher, Rabbi Yochanan. One day, Rabbi Elazar is inconsolable, crying and weeping, and Rabbi Yochanan cannot for the life of him figure out why. Is it that he didn't have enough children? Or is that he didn't study enough Torah? Eventually, after much chiding, Rabbi Elazar finally opens and says, I'm crying over all of the beauty of this world that will disappear. And Rabbi Yochanan says, this is surely a good reason to cry, and they join one another in tears. Judith's death reminds us that all of the beauty of this wild, lovable, unruly world is impermanent, that we ourselves are impermanent, so we better love our people and the world around us really well while we still can. We will continue to weep for Judith, for the suffering she was dealt in this life, and for the loss of her life, and we will continue to show up for each other. Earlier today, I spoke with Malcolm, Judith's father, who shared that even in her death, Judith will continue to connect people, to weave her unbelievably intricate network together, as she has done today. Judith's people will continue to find each other, and we will be emissaries for the justice, the compassion, and the healing that she sought to bring to the world. In a moment, I will close our ceremony today with a prayer, El Malei Rachamim, God full of compassion. This is a prayer that is traditionally said at the end of Jewish memorial services, a prayer that uplifts the soul of the deceased, that begs the source of the universe to tend to our loved one and bring her close. When the ceremony is complete, we would love to invite folks to stay and share some snacks. I heard there's also some Diet Coke in Judith's honor, to watch the slideshow that was lovingly put together, and most importantly, to share memories with one another of Judith. Before we move towards closing, I'd love to thank Nicole and Heather for their tireless work to put this ceremony together, and as well as Carrie Maloney and the rest of the Harvard Divinity School team for offering this space to us to remember Judith, and the other countless friends, family, and loved ones who have helped to make today happen. Thank you. Al malay rachamim shochein bam romim, hamsei menucha nechona al kanfei hashchina, bamalot kadoshim udhorim kezohar harakia masichirim, et nishmati hudit tzipora, shehalach le'olama ba'avor shenovdu tzedaka, beyad hazkarat nishmata, began eden tehei menuchata, lachein ba'al harachamim yishtir beseter knafav le'olamim, V'yitzor b'ritzor hachayim et nishmata. Adonai hu nachalata v'tanu ach b'shalom al mishkava. V'nomar amen. Source of life, full of mercy, who dwells above, give rest on the wings of the divine presence, amongst the holy, pure, and glorious who shine like the sky, to the soul of Judith, for whom prayer was offered in the memory of her soul. Therefore, the source of life will protect her soul forever and will merge her soul with eternal life. The everlasting is her heritage, and she shall rest peacefully at her lying place. And let us together say, Amen. Thank you all for being here today.
We're going to put the slideshow on now. It does have music along with it if you want to sit through or come in and out. But it's on every 10 seconds. Oh, you fixed it already.
Where did all the people go? They got scared when the lights went low. I'll get you through it nice and slow when the world's spinning out of control. Afraid of what they might lose, might get scraped or they might get bruised. You could beg them what's the use? That's why it's called a moment of truth. Yeah, I'll get it if you need it. I'll search if you don't see it. You're thirsty, I'll be rain. You get hurt, I'll take your pain. I know you don't believe it, but I said it and I still mean it. When you heard what I told you, when you get worried, I'll be a soldier. Funny when times get hard, at the last moment when you're supposed to charge. Always on the longest yard. Oh, they feel the feet get cold. Hide in here, hide in there. Find them underneath the stairs. People hiding everywhere, trying to be still as a stone. And I'll get it if you need it. I'll search if you can't see it. You're thirsty, I'll be rain. You get hurt, I'll take your pain. I know you don't believe it, but I
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad. Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you have. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. And with every broken bone, I swear I lived. Hope that you spend your days, but they all add up. And when that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say, I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. And with every broken bone, I swear I lived. I swear I live every broken bone. I swear I did it all. I did it all. I own every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. And with every broken bone, I swear I live. I swear I live.
Free, a lover sinking in the sea, and we will let the water fill our lungs and sleep. Love, we go down, we go down. Breathe. It's over now, over now. He's coming home to me. You see, we pull our bodies down into the deep. Love, we go down, we go down. Breathe, it's over now, over now. We can love, we can love. We can love, we can love. The birds will sing a song in Halcyon. The birds will sing a song. The birds will all sing. Ah, ah, ah. The birds will all sing. Ah, ah, ah. The birds will sing a song. Ah, ah, ah. Birds will all sing. Ah, ah, ah. We can love, we can love. We can love, we can love. And the birds will sing a song in Halcyon.
I miss the words we used to say. I miss the sounds of yesterday. I miss the games we used to play like gold. I was trapped inside a dream. I couldn't see her next to me. I didn't know she'd set me free like gold. Something happens when I hold her. She keeps my heart from getting older. When the days get short and the nights get a little bit colder, we hold each other. We hold each other. We hold each other. Everything looks different now. All this time my head was down. He came along and showed me how to let go. I can't remember where I'm from. All I know is who I've become. That our love has just begun like gold. Something happens when I hold him. He keeps my heart from getting broken. When the days get short and the nights get a little bit frozen, we hold each other. We hold each other. We hold each other.
Yo, if I'm stressing you, that blessing is sent from heaven. These days start to feel like hours, and hours feel more like seconds. People judge us, they couldn't see the connection. When I look at you, it's like I'm looking back at my reflection. I don't see nothing different, our pigments, they coincide. We hold each other so tight, they couldn't break us if they tried. My eyes are those of the blind, I see no color or size. I feel the love in your touch, and I trust what's inside your mind. Okay, I know that we've been through a lot. I know that we both grew up. You know I missed you a lot. When I was young, I was dumb. Didn't think you fit in my plot. And I appreciate the break because I love what we got now.
give me chills and I can't imagine you leaving. If I could build a perfect person, honestly, you would be it. And you know nobody knows you like I know you. I can't wait to come back home so I can hold you. Yeah. Something happens when I hold her. She keeps my heart from getting older. When the days get short and the nights get a little bit colder, we hold each other. 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 Headed down south to the land of the pines. I'm thumbing my way to North Carolina, staring up the road and pray to God I see headlights. I made it down the coast in 17 hours, picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers, and I'm hoping for Raleigh I can see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Running from the cold up in New England, I was born to be a fiddler in an old-time string band. My baby plays the guitar, I pick a banjo now. Oh, North Country winters keep forgetting me, and I lost my money playing poker, so I had to up and leave. But I ain't turning back to live that old life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Walking due south out of Roanoke, I caught a trucker out of Philly, had a nice long toke. But he's headed west from the Cumberland Gap, Johnson City, Tennessee. And I gotta get a move on before the sun. I hear my baby calling my name, and I know that she's the only one. And if I die in Raleigh,